Good morning. Welcome back to the trailer park. I am Chanda-Masta, and I hope you're having black coffee in bed this morning. It's a cold pre-winter morning here in the trailer park. How is everybody? I know it's been a long time, guys. I'm so sorry. I've missed you. I've been in the thick of it. I'm at kind of the peak of the worst of it right now. So the last couple of weeks have been pretty tough on me. But I'm here, and we're going to do this. I got a great show wrote for you guys, and lots to talk about. Of course, the CIA delivering Netanyahu an early Christmas present via Syria. Lots of people to catch up with. Let me get this chat brought in here. It's so good to see all you guys this morning. It really is. Oz and I did a show on Saturday night. I'm very low energy. the chemo or the radiation really zaps me. The fatigue is the worst. Like I probably spend 80% of my time sleeping or in bed, but I'm trying to keep up with the holidays. Good to see everybody. Good morning, Lady Alex. How are you? I'm hanging in there. I promise. I'm hanging in there. You're having coffee in bed with almond milk. Good for you, Mouse SF. Let's see. There's Barb. Barb 420. How are you, Barbara? Good to see ya. Mastermind. You're working. I'm sorry, Mastermind. Popeye. Popeye, did you like those openers? I thought they were both great. Weren't they great? I've always loved Squeeze. I've always been a huge Squeeze fan. Chiron, good to see you. Thank you so much for your kind words. Midnight Karma, hello. Nat, hi, Natalie. See how much the chat loves you, Nat. We just need to hang out. That's all. Let's see. I got Popeye already. I got Mouse. Who else is in here? Salty's Digital Dive. Good morning, Salty. How are we on this Monday morning? I think did I get everybody in the chat? I got Lady Alex. I think people are starting to file in over on the YouTube. I know. Go Start. Good to see you, Go Start. When I haven't been live for 3 or 4 weeks, people forget, right? we get out of the rotation. Let's say good morning to all the other channels. Hi, Kick. What's up, Kick? I see you over there, Kick. Hello, Rumble. We got Go Start, Mr. Worthless Eater, hanging out over on the Rumble. Rumble is going to kind of be more of our new home. YouTube's been beating our ass so hard this last couple of months that Oz and I have kind of made a decision to kind of funnel ourselves over to Rumble. Not that Rumble is much better, with Peter Thiel owning it and all the crap we know about him, but at least they don't spank us over there as much. So am I frozen? Maybe restart because I don't look frozen on my channels. Yeah, we've just had a lot of problems with YouTube, so we're probably going to be moving over. Hi, Rockfin. What's up, Rockfin? I see you. Hi, Kate. Kate's hanging out over on the Rockfin. Can't hang out, but I understand. And so, yeah, come the new year, if you can't find us, go to Rumble. Go to Rumble. That's where we're going to be. Okay, I think we're okay this morning. All systems are go. I got red lights, meaning I'm okay. And it looks like our streams are up and running great. You guys know I got 5 monitors here I'm running, so I'm trying to keep an eye on everything. How's my sound out there? You guys will let me know. Definitely. Okay, let's move on. God, I feel like I haven't done this forever. If you guys want to help me out, you guys know how to do it. All the donation links are in the chat box down below. You guys know how this goes. And the GoFundMe is still up and doing okay. I did have a very generous donation on Giving Tuesday. Thank you so much to everybody who's donated. It keeps me in meds. You guys know I'm doing the Finbin. I don't even know if I can say that on YouTube. I can't say it on Facebook. If I say it in certain Facebook groups, I get kicked out. So that's kind of spendy. I'm having to order it out of India and have it brought in. So, but hopefully it's helping. I don't know yet. I don't feel any better, but they say I'm going to feel worse before I feel better, right? Because I'm going through all the chemo. I have one more round of chemo. Starts next Monday, so I will not be live next Monday. I will be getting injected with poison. And so I have to do 3 days of chemo next week. And then, of course, I'm doing radiation 5 days a week and have been for quite some time now. And I'll show you guys. Oh, no, wrong side. You can see where they're cooking me. This is where they're really focusing the radiation, and it's cracked and burned and chaffed, and so is my back. And the machine is a crazy damn machine. I'm gonna have nightmares about that radiation machine for the rest of my life. But I love my radiators. I call them radiators. The techs that come and radiate me every day, and they're sweethearts. And everybody that at the cancer center is amazing. I just gotta say that. As much as I shit and poo-poo on the American healthcare system, for some reason I've gotten very fucking lucky. My insurance company has denied very little except for my pain medications, which we know the workaround. And everything that I've needed to get done, including multiple scans. I mean, these MRIs and these brain scans and stuff, they cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And I've had to have multiple, normally they only let you have so many in a allotted time. I mean, I've been having them like every couple of months, which, my doctors know how to get around the insurance issues, so I'm so thankful for that. Anyways, fair use. We are on YouTube. All of the clips I'm bringing today, I am merely commentating on. These are my opinions, my speculations. If you are interested in anything I talk about, please go out there and do your own research. I promise the truth is out there. It's just not on Google or Wikipedia. We're going to talk about that. I've got a little clip in the deck about that. Okay, I think we've got all of the mundane shit out of the way, so let's just get this deck started. I thought since we're talking about coffee in bed, let's talk about what coffee does to your brain. Have you seen this? Apparently, coffee reduces the blood flow to your brain, which makes sense because when I'm getting massive headaches. Fred Edwards, so good to see you, Fred. What's up? I've been getting massive headaches. Like 2 weeks after chemo, for some reason, I woke up with these massive migraines, and we actually had a brain scan to make sure that nothing had moved into my brain, and I'm happy to say nothing has. It's empty, but I have to get up and drink a cup of coffee. If I get up and I have medication for it, but if I get up, take the medication, and then drink a cup of coffee, I get better. Well, maybe this is why. Oh, are we going to play games today? Just play.
To researchers at Wake Forest in North Carolina, where I underwent 2 MRI brain scans. This first scan with no caffeine in my system. Then I downed just 1 drink. Now my second MRI. This was my brain before caffeine. This was after. The difference was remarkable.
It's like a 40% drop in the blood flow to your brain. So that's a lot.
So before caffeine, with caffeine, the blood flow to my brain dropped about 40%.
40%.
Really?
Holy crap, 40%? That's kind of crazy. I just thought, I'm not saying anything about it. I mean, if you need the blood out of your head, you Cialis users, drink some coffee. Hi, DC. Good morning. Good to see you. Oh, it's so good to see everybody. Steve G, what's up? Oh, I thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. You always tell me I look beautiful, and I appreciate that. And I don't feel that way lately. I got to tell you, I went through a kind of a down period the last 2 weeks of, you look in the mirror, you don't see or recognize yourself because my face is so swollen from all of the meds and my hair is gone, but it's starting to grow back. It's very thin, very, very thin, but it is starting to grow back. 1 more round of chemo, it'll fall out a little bit more, but hopefully by New Year's, it'll start growing back. I was doing wigs and hats and turbans and all that crap, but I'm just over it. They're itchy, they're scratchy, they get in my eyes. I'm trying to get the hair out. They look fake as shit. Like, I just am like, you know what? I'm over it. I don't care. This is what cancer in America looks like. And I'm just going to embrace who I am and how it looks. So thank you guys for being so kind about how I look. As much as I try to say I'm not vain, I kind of am a little vain, obviously, right? Or I wouldn't get up and do the makeup and the hair, but I do miss my hair. I had such great hair. You guys have to admit, I had great hair. Damn it. It took me 50 years to get great hair, and then as soon as I got great hair, I had to lose it. Anyways, what do you guys think about that? Coffee in your brain. Okay, let's talk about the United Healthcare CEO, because there's some crazy shit going on with this story, right? So the guy was replaced, or is going to be replaced very quickly, apparently less than 24 hours after he was taken from this earth. They already posted a listing for his job. That just goes to show how much your job fucking cares about you, right? Even if you're a CEO making $10.2 million a year, you can and will be replaced. Let's check it out. 'Cause 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 'Cause
Your job does not care about you. In case you missed it, the CEO of United Healthcare was unalived in New York City on his way to a meeting, and that was United Healthcare's LinkedIn page requesting a new CEO in less than 24 hours of this news breaking. The ink on his death certificate hasn't even dried yet, and they're already looking for a new person to replace him. I don't know how else to flip it, twist it, reverse it, or spin it. Your job does not care about you. Your job does not care about you. Your job does not care about you. Go on that vacation. Don't answer your emails while you're there.
The joys of late stage capitalism. You are just a slave in a slave set mind. Yeah, that's right. Remember the 4th of December. I think that's going to be a new chant that we're going to hear every year until we, unlike every other freaking nation in the world, has freaking healthcare. You know, this is something that we've fought for ever and ever. The healthcare, the American healthcare fight has been an issue that I remember my whole entire life. America has been screaming for healthcare. You know, I grew up, we didn't have healthcare. Mom was a nurse too. That was the crazy part. Once she became a nurse, we got better healthcare. We actually got healthcare, but I remember it being a big deal when we were little, if one of us had to go to the doctor, like, oh shit, how are we going to pay for this, you know? And then we kind of had two tiers in America, and if you're in the middle, you're in the donut hole, you're screwed. So if you're really poor, well, then the state picks up the costs, and of course they only reimburse your doctors so much, right? Like, you know, Medicare, Medicaid have contracts where they only reimburse so much on the dollar. Or if you're rich, then you get really good health care, right? It's the people in the middle, the everyday middle class working people that are screwed the hardest. And we have talked about this. You guys know I was out on the campaign trail fighting for Bernie Sanders. That was one of our biggest bullet points that we talked about on the campaign trail was, you know, how many people are filing medical bankruptcy because one illness can take you out. So a lot of crazy things going on. They still have not got any leads on this guy. Oh, that's crazy, right? And then they're doing lookalike contests. A lot of people are. How common is this outfit? A hoodie with a jacket and a backpack. Pretty common. And Washington Park, they had a lookalike contest yesterday, and the winner donated half of the proceeds to Palestine. How cool is that? So moving on. Am I the only one who caught this? Okay, so there's a lot of stuff we're hearing in the media, right? The liberal media, the left-leaning media has had a lot to say about this, right? Because we're all terrorists for talking or for cheering this shit on, right? As Chris Como said, if you joined us on Saturday, Fredo has just gone off on all of us. How dare us? How dare us be so cold and inhumane? Anyways, you know, we see a lot of those captured pictures that are being released supposedly from the NYPD. But I was looking at him and I was like, wait a minute, that's not the same guy. The guy had a black jacket on with a cream backpack, and then all of a sudden we're seeing a green jacket with a black backpack. I think they're just grabbing random pictures and putting it out there, and I'm not the only one who noticed it. So check this out.
Please tell me I'm not the only one that caught this weird discrepancy in the footage that they're releasing of the suspect in the unaliving of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Most of us have seen the very riveting footage of the suspect in the black hoodie and tan backpack. They've also released this photo of him masked up with a black jacket, black hood, and a tan backpack. And they believe this is him on one of those electric bikes in New York City, black jacket, tan backpack. But today they released this that they're saying is also footage of him, presumably just before the unaliving, and he's wearing a tan jacket and clearly has a black backpack on. That looks like a black strap to me, not a tan strap. What is going on here? Is this even the same guy? How is nobody pointing this out?
So have you guys heard the rumor that this guy, this Brian Thompson, CEO, was set to testify against one and only Nancy Pelosi next week on insider trading? Now, I cannot confirm this. I looked into it. I've seen a couple of TikToks about it. But for some reason, the first time I saw this, I didn't think it had anything to do with actual disgruntled healthcare. I just had a deep down feeling like this was a professional hit, because it very much reminds me of Seth Rich. It very much reminds me of the Seth Rich murder. And, what a good way to cover it up if you're a Democrat, right? Like, oh, well, we'll just blame it on the pissed off millions of Americans and nobody will look at us. We know that they have a history of silencing people. So I'd be interested to hear if any of you guys have came across any information that kind of supports that theory. Because, I think there's more than meets the eye here. Absolutely. This has been a fight that we have been hearing about since before some of us were even born, of course. Here is Kennedy talking about the need for a universal health care for the United States. Isn't it odd that he got taken out too? I'm just speculating here.
The fact of the matter is that what we are now talking about doing, most of the countries of Europe did years ago. The British did it 30 years ago. We are behind every country pretty nearly in Europe in this matter of medical care for our citizens. And then those who say that this should be left to private effort. In those hospitals in New Jersey where the doctors said they wouldn't treat anyone, who paid their hospital bills through Social Security, those hospitals and every other new hospital, the American people, all of us, contribute 1/2, 1 or 2/3 for every new hospital, the national government. We pay 55% of all the research done. We help young men become doctors. We are concerned with the progress of this country. And those who say that what we are now talking about spoils our great pioneer heritage should remember that the West was settled with 2 great actions by the national government. One, in President Lincoln's administration, when he gave a homestead to everyone who went west, and in 1862 he set aside government property to build our land-grant colleges. This cooperation between an alert and progressive citizenry and a progressive government is what has made this country great, and we shall continue as long as we have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, well, we lost the opportunity to do so very, very long ago. I don't think we ever had it. I think that it's been an illusion. It's been something that's been fed to us by the mainstream media. I mean, think about how corporate controlled the media was, especially back in those days. Very much comparable to what we're seeing nowadays. Okay, so this is a media, marketing exec, a madman. And I really like her take on this because, we've all been brainwashed since birth when it comes to these issues.
I am not using humor to justify murder. I'm using humor to celebrate it. Tread carefully as to what messages you're sending. I work in marketing communications. I am a messaging professional. Every single thing I said, I stand by, and every single laugh I laughed yesterday was earned. It is individuals like you who uphold the slave morality that the system has conditioned the majority of us, starting from the precepts of Christianity, which tell us to be subservient to a higher power is the ideal, and that you are inherently sinful and therefore deserving of rule by someone greater than you, more powerful than you. You can see this subservience principle perpetuated through every single aspect of our society, but most especially in the financial area. This is why oligarchical figures such as Brian Thompson are able to become aspects of our society because they do not believe in slave morality. They do not wake up and think, is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I hurt someone while I make millions and millions and millions and millions and billions of dollars for shareholders off the lives and integrity of people who need help and need services? That's what you are perpetuating by criticizing me for laughing about it. And if you're gonna give me grief, at least give me grief for the right thing. I am celebrating. Damn, that looks bad. Whatever. Okay. I have never subscribed to a nonviolent protest.
Ooh.
I love the concept. I just don't believe it's
Right?
that functional.
It's not functional.
And as we can see by the response of private healthcare in this country following the death of an individual associated with private healthcare in this country, it works. So if that means I'm morally bankrupt, I will never be even proximal to the man who made his living off the death, denial, and deposition of individuals seeking medical help. Think about it.
I really liked her point about the nonviolent opposition, right? Because that's what we're taught, and I've taken so many nonviolent training courses, and you learn how to sit in and how to protest without pissing off the cops. But after 10 years of doing this, I'm here to tell you we ain't changing shit till we freaking rise up, and we all know it because we've been talking about it for years now. And violence seems to be the only thing that really upsets these guys. Looks like my sound's a little hot. Let me turn down a little. Why am I so hot today? There we go. That's a little better. It's my hot cocoa. I know, I'm not even drinking coffee. Americans pay $10,000 a day for respirators. Just glad he's not living in a socialist hellhole like Norway. Yeah. Oh, the respirators. Remember how we kept telling you guys the truth about the respirators? Yeah, YouTube kept kicking our ass all over for that shit. Yeah, you guys remember. Guess what? Peter Hotez says it's gonna happen again. So January 20th, mark your calendars because all the new viruses are set to roll out on that day, according to Peter Hotez. We covered it on Saturday night. You can't make this shit up. We live in a fucking cartoon. You cannot make this up. What do we got here? $25 million United Health CEO whines about social media trashing his industry. So sad. I love this part where it says United Healthcare Group CEO Andrew Whitney claims that he's on guard against unnecessary care. Yeah, they're just denying unnecessary care. That's all. Because if a doctor prescribes it and tells you need it, and then you try to get approved for it, your insurance company knows better than your doctor. It's unnecessary. You can't make this shit up. Monsters do exist, and they are monsters. I think Mr. Oz dropped this for us today. Hey, Oz. Get to feeling better. Why do we need universal health care? Because a healthcare insurance CEO can earn $10 million a year by using AI to deny claims with a 90% error rate and face no accountability. Shit, does anybody face accountability in America? No, only those of us that are in the working class, the middle class. We are the only ones who are stand to any kind of justice system, right? The elites, they don't go to jail. We told you Hunter Biden was never going to jail, and we proved that one. Oh, it's just so disgusting. Okay, let's talk about the Middle East. I've got a lot of stuff here on the Middle East. First off, I want to say that Vanessa Beeley did make it out of Damascus. She is okay. I've seen a lot of people posting and asking questions about that. Of course, Vanessa Beeley, you'll see her in our end credit rolls for independent women in independent media. One thing I got to tell you guys is I don't know shit about foreign policy. I do now, but I didn't for most of my life, I took what I knew from Peter Jennings and the 6 o'clock fucking news, right? Like most of us have. And I was sold this lie of American imperialism. And it's only been in the last 10 years where I have been on the ground and shoulder to shoulder with so many amazing international journalists. You know, come on, Fiorel Isabel, Vanessa Beeley, there's just so many of them. You guys know them. We love them. And they've really schooled me on who America is to the rest of the world and how hard it is to see through the propaganda that we are fed by huge spoonfuls here in the United States when it comes to our tyranny abroad. And so, yeah, Vanessa Beeley is safe. I wanted to tell you guys that. And hopefully she will get a stream up. I heard that there's a couple of different people working on getting a stream with her. I think Whitney Webb's working on it. I think Ryan Christian is working on it too. So keep your eyes peeled. If you guys see it, let me know, because I am so interested what Vanessa has to say about what went down this week. Vanessa, the front. Yeah, she is the forefront of Syria coverage since day one. Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay, so I brought some sticks and hammers here. You guys know I don't agree with Sticks on everything, and he's definitely got himself a case of TDS. But I really like his take on this because absolutely 100%, this was the CIA. This was a backed fucking coup. It was done from the inside. So many of us have been called Assad toadies just by pointing out the truth of what's actually happening. And yeah, so let's let this play, and I've got so many clips for you guys that break down what happened yesterday and the night before. Oh, wrong mouse. There we go.
All right, everyone. We start today with fairly breaking news. Overnight, Syria has effectively collapsed. Bashar al-Assad is maybe in the country, maybe not, and rebels have actually seized both Aleppo and parts of Damascus. So Syria appears to be all fucked up. Link in the description, archived, of course. Here's my read on it. The kind of rebels that you have in Syria are not the kind of people that you want to be leading a country. Some of them are Turkish-backed, some of them are FSA, and some are literally ISIS, although that remnant pretty much was snuffed out, actually, and now resides more in North Africa than anything else. So that's, I guess, the saving grace. Unfortunately, I believe that you're about to see a purge of Christians, Yazidi, and Alawites in Syria. You're about to see effectively a genocide,
yep.
And there's nothing that we can do about it. And Trump has responded. He responded the other day when the rebels first began their advance. He said, stay out of it. Don't do anything. It's not our fight. It has nothing to do with us.
This is where his
I
problem
agree with that. If Russia wants to try to defend the Syrian people, that's perfectly fine, but it's not our fight. I do feel sorry, though, for the ethnic and religious minorities within Syria because, sadly, you're about to be human trafficked and or purged. The Islamo-fascists that are taking over the country, over Bashar al-Assad, are far worse than his own authoritarian regime. And let's look at nuance here. Bashar al-Assad is a strong-arm authoritarian. He's not the sort of person that I would want, for example, to lead a nation that I happen to reside in. I have no love for Bashar al-Assad whatsoever, and he is a puppet of the Russians. But that is far less bad than the alternative, which is you have Islamofascism within the country and hundreds of thousands of people are purged. And unfortunately, I think that's what's going to happen. I think that there's going to be a lot of suffering in Syria over the coming years. Hopefully, the incoming Trump regime, and I can't imagine that the timing is coincidental, by the way. We'll get into that in a moment. Hopefully, diplomacy will break out, and there will be a restoration of some basic degree of order there, ensuring that people that, are helpless, in many cases just civilians, are not purged. The Trump regime will probably be able to conduct that form of meaningful diplomacy, and that's why I don't think the timing is coincidental. I don't think that either. All around the world right now, malevolent actors that oppose Western interests are surging. And they're doing that because they're taking advantage of a very narrow period in time where Western leadership is effectively absent. There is no U.S. president currently. No. Is it Biden? He can't even choose the color of his socks. Is it Harris? She got thwomped completely, doesn't know what she's doing, and is basically in hiding. Your de facto president right now is Jill Biden, more than anybody else, because she's, you know, Biden's partner, and she happens to be actually mentally coherent most.
Yeah, okay, so I agree with him on a couple of points there. I do think that we're going to see a hell of a genocide and a purging, even including of Christians in Syria. It's going to be bad for Syria because this is, you know, this is the part of the plan. The plans have been laid out for many years, and we know that because of one other than Julian Assange and the Hillary Clinton emails that came out of the State Department in 2015 and beyond. And his thinking that Trump is going to bring diplomacy to this, or that Trump's statement of stay out of this fucking meant anything. It was lip service. Trump ain't going to stay out of this. He already has stated why we want to be in Syria. Oil, right? So yeah, I'm not buying it, and he has too much faith in Trump. Okay, so I brought you a little bit of a Caitlin Johnstone because the first thing when I woke up yesterday morning and I saw this news breaking, I could not help but think of Muammar Gaddafi. The first thing that went through my mind, anytime there is a U.S. opposed country with a strong leader who is fighting for his people. We know that about Assad, right? We've seen a lot of, well, I paid attention for like the last 12 years to Syria. Remember the whole, in 2016, what's in Aleppo from the Libertarian Party? What was his name? It'll come to me. Anyways, so we've known about this for a long time, but I could not help but think that it's very, very similar. And Caitlin Johnstone agreed with me.
Assad is out. Woke Al-Qaeda is in. Well, it looks like the government of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad is on its way out, likely to be replaced by one or more U.S. puppet regimes depending on whether the nation maintains its current borders or is carved up into separate states. The empire notches another win. I am not a military analyst, but analysts who are normally supportive and optimistic in favor of Assad, like Elijah Manier and Pepe Escobar, are saying this is the end. Assad's whereabouts are unknown as Turkish-backed fighters and al-Qaeda-linked forces with a history of Western backing have swept through the country with alarming speed, and now Russia and Iran have joined with the governments of U.S.-aligned nations like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, and Turkey in calling for an end to the fighting in favor of a political solution. CNN reports that opposition forces have entered Damascus in search of Assad, and footage reportedly shows Assad forces retreating from the area where the president's main residence is located. The U.S. proxy warfare in Lebanon and Ukraine makes a lot more strategic sense now. By tying up Hezbollah and Russia in other conflicts, the path was opened up for another run on Damascus and a chance to further cut off Hezbollah from supplies. Many pundits on my end of the commentary spectrum have been calling those proxy wars self-defeating and framing them as the desperate flailings of a dying empire, which will only accelerate its demise. But now here we are, watching the empire score a victory it's been chasing for years, with the Western Israeli stranglehold on the Middle East growing tighter than ever.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the press is falling all over itself to support this regime change by promoting the narrative that Al-Qaeda is woke now.
Oh, God.
CNN just released a coddling softball interview with Abu Muhammad al-Jalani, the former ISIS and Al-Qaeda member who leads the Syrian opposition group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, which is itself a rebranded offshoot of Al-Qaeda in Syria. Jalani told CNN that he has reformed from his radical ways of the past, saying, "Sometimes it's essential to adjust to reality," adding, "Someone who rigidly clings to certain ideas and principles without flexibility cannot effectively lead societies or navigate complex conflicts like the one happening in Syria." Now, the imperial press are full of headlines like, how Syria's rebel leader went from radical jihadist to blazer-wearing revolutionary from CNN. Syria's rebel leader Jalani from radical jihadist to ostensible pragmatist from the Times of Israel. And how Syria's diversity-friendly jihadists plan on building a state from the Telegraph. Only a matter of time before we start seeing former ISIS and Al-Qaeda members chatting it up on liberal Western talk shows with their preferred gender pronouns listed next to their names.
Oh, shit.
As luck would have it, these diversity-friendly jihadists have been telling the Israeli press that they love Israel and won't do anything to harm its interests. So it's safe to say that this revolution has been about as organically grown as a sheet of crystal meth. One of the many...
Yeah, we'll pause it there because it's pretty long. But yeah, Caitlin Johnstone making me laugh because she's just calling it like it absolutely is. Yeah, the moderate jihadists and their pronouns are now making the rounds on CNN because, hey, they're reformed, they're better, they're changed, right? What is this? Oh, remember Hillary Clinton? Come on, I had to bring this one.
Unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed. Yeah.
Unconfirmed.
No. Unconfirmed reports about Gaddafi being captured.
Oh, really?
Unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed.
Yeah. We've had too many. We've had a bunch of those before. We've had, have had him captured a couple of times.
Unconfirmed.
Yes, we came. We saw. He died.
Did it have anything to do with your visit?
I'm sure it did.
Oh, so evil. Oh my God, it's Satan and that guy in a devil costume. Yeah, exactly. She is Satan. I had to bring that just as a little reminder of who the U.S. State Department actually is. Benjamin Netanyahu, he took a victory lap yesterday. He was super excited about this. Let's hear what he had to say.
This is a historic day for the Middle East. The collapse of the Assad regime, the tyranny in Damascus, offers great opportunity, but also is fraught with significant dangers. This collapse is a direct result of our forceful action against Hezbollah and Iran, Assad's main supporters. It set off a chain reaction of all those who want to free themselves from this tyranny and its oppression. But it also means we have to take action against possible threats. One of them is the collapse of the Separation of Forces Agreement from 1974 between Israel and Syria. This agreement held for 50 years. Last night it collapsed. The Syrian army abandoned its positions. We gave the Israeli army the order to take over these positions to ensure that no hostile force embeds itself right next to the border of Israel. This is a temporary defensive position until a suitable arrangement is found. Equally, we send a hand of peace to all those beyond our border in Syria, to the Druze, to the Kurds, to the Christians, and to the Muslims who want to live in peace with Israel. We're going to follow events very carefully. If we can establish neighborly relations and a peaceful relations with the new forces emerging in Syria, that's our desire. But if we do not, we'll do whatever it takes to defend the state of Israel and the border of Israel.
So basically, the CIA gave Israel a win. Because let's face it, numbers that we're actually hearing, real numbers coming out of Palestine, is 500,000 dead. And they haven't slowed down anybody, right? Hamas, anybody. And so it was a loss for them. It's been a loss. It's been a big loss for a long fucking time. And this is a win. This is a part of their building of greater Israel. So I believe that Assad is in Moscow, from what I hear. And, that would make sense to me. But you know who actually loses? The whole entire world. Because Damascus is, they say that the birthplace of civilization is, of course, the Middle East, Iraq and Israel and Damascus. And I watch a lot of shows. Like last night I was watching Cities of the Bible, and they're finally getting back into Iraq, and they're starting to excavate and look at these dig up these frickin' cities, and ancient Sumerian, and the cities that are mentioned in the Bible, and so much of that is Damascus, and it's just being blown to smithereens now, and that's really sad for us, because we have been lied to our entire lives about the birth of civilization, and now all the evidence that could prove where and when we actually came from is just getting fucking blown to smithereens, and that's sad to me, because I really enjoy that type of stuff. Let's hear what Fee says. Fee, she has got her finger on the pulse of this, especially when she was in Moscow. I don't think she's there anymore. I haven't really kept up, you guys. I've been sick, but I think Fee is back in the States, if I remember right. Sophie says, it's worse than anyone thought. This was a betrayal from within. After 5 a.m. Damascus time, Israel launched a surprise attack. And of course, we all said this was a Zionist coordination. But the idea was that the back channels was to keep Damascus safe, and Turkey targeted HTS. Instead, there was a coordinated betrayal that won't be a slow transition, but rather more a coup, and it won't stop at Syria. This is all Israel's greater project, and as for Assad, he got out and was not on the alleged plane. I won't say where he is, but I will say this is absolutely a Western-backed coup with betrayals from one or more of the channels Syria was talking with, Turkey. There's no other way that this could happen without the guarantees were given. Video of Syria's presidential palace. Everyone who is in Syria is stunned and absolutely devastated to see Syria fall into the hands of terrorists, and worse, the puppets who controlled them. If some of the Arabs if some of the Arab world are cheering, they should know you are next. And, I agree, Fee. Fee says, I won't say where he's at. He's probably in Moscow, would be my guess. But yeah, let's check out the presidential palace. This was them early in the morning going through the presidential palace. Did you guys see all of his cars? I didn't bring it, but there's video footage of them going into Assad's garage, and the amount of cars there. And at first I thought, oh my gosh, okay, yeah. If you went into any of our leaders' fucking garages, you would see 20 cars too. You're telling me Nancy Pelosi doesn't have a fleet of Land Rovers and Mercedes? Of course they do. So, the fact that the U.S. media toasts is like, oh, look at this hoarder having all this stuff while his people suffer. Our fucking people do it too. So check this out.
يكسروا هيك هذا مال الشعب والله مال الشعب والله مال الشعب
Tell me he wasn't living the same way that our leaders live. Oh, look at the white couches. Yeah, you can't tell me that he's living in any higher life than any of our frickin' de facto leaders too. So, yeah, look. There they are, Nancy Pelosi, John Kerry. There was a time where these guys were all buddies with Assad, and but You're not allowed to bring that crap up, right? They will be good to you as long as they can get something from you. And if they can't get anything from you, well, then you gotta die. Moving on. The fuck off pie goes to a Yanis how do you say this? Varoufakis. He says, always a great joy to see a dictator fall. Syria has suffered enough. The task now is to ensure that they do not suffer anymore. That's not what's going to happen. As the Iraqis and the Libyans did after the fall of their dictators, to the end, foreign powers, Western and non-Western, must also be kept at bay. I do agree with that, but come on, this guy, sometimes he gets it right, sometimes he gets it wrong. Greater Israel. So this is the plan right here. We've seen this map. Netanyahu rolled this map out for us, 8 months ago, 9 months ago. This has always been the plan to take over. And Syria is the first to go, and there will be others. I'm really kind of surprised about Turkey, though. We told you so. We did tell you so. We've been saying this for a while. So let's hear what President Biden had to say about this. I'm kind of surprised that he even knows what the hell is going on. I'm only going to play like the first minute or two of this, because who wants to listen to this guy ramble on a Monday morning? Not me.
It's also a moment of risk and uncertainty.
Risk and uncertainty.
As we all turn to the question of what comes next, the United States will work with our partners and the stakeholders in Syria to help them seize an opportunity to manage the risks. For years, the main backers of Assad have been Iran, Hezbollah, and Russia. But over the last week, their support collapsed, all three of them, because all three of them are far weaker today than they were when I took office. And let's remember why. After Hamas attacked Israel on October the 7th, 2023, when much of the world responded with horror, Iran and its proxies chose to launch a multi-front war against Israel. That was a historic mistake on Iran's part.
Yeah, okay.
Today, Iran's main territorial proxy, Hezbollah, is also on its back. Only 12 days ago,
I don't know about that.
In the Rose Garden about the ceasefire deal in Lebanon, a deal that was only possible because Hezbollah has been badly degraded. Meanwhile, Hamas has been badly degraded as well. Iran's own military capabilities have been weakened. Iran tried 2 times to attack Israel. And the United States and built a coalition of countries.
And they were very nice about it. They actually warned them.
All this made possible for Iran and Hezbollah to continue to prop up, impossible, I should say, for them to prop up the Assad regime.
I almost told you the truth. Oops.
For Assad also failed. And that's because Ukraine, backed by our American allies, has put up a wall of resistance against the invading Russian forces.
Oh, God. I can't take anymore. Mr. Worthless Eater coming in with the, absolutely. Yanis is Mossad. We've been saying that forever. That's why he got the fuck off pie this morning. I could eat a bowl of alphabet soup and shit out a smarter statement than this guy. Any of us could. And this is Damascus last night. Check this out. I mean, why? If they've already conquered, why? Why are they just fucking bombing everything? This never makes sense to me, and it will not make sense to me forever. George Galloway, I had to stop by yesterday. Moats, the greatest talk show. I love Moats on a Sunday afternoon. Check it out if you're not watching it. George Galloway, always bringing in the great guests. And let's hear what he had to say.
Professor, a grim situation. Give us, please, first your thoughts, and then allow me, please, to ask you some searching questions.
Thank you, George. First of all, with regards to your poll, I think Jake Sullivan, if he had the right to vote, or if he had the courage to vote, or if he would admit the truth once again, as he did in his email to Hillary Clinton on February the 12th, 2012, that Al-Qaeda is on our side in Syria, he would vote that it is a CIA-backed organization.
It is.
ISIS and Al-Qaeda were both supported by the CIA.
And Mossad.
We know from that email, we know from the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency document of 2012 that Turkey and despots in the Persian Gulf and U.S. allies in the region were creating
it was a great show yesterday,
a
Jilly.
Salafist entity between Syria and Iraq to isolate Syria. Well, what was that entity? It was ISIS. So they created Al-Qaeda. They supported ISIS. And then Kerry said we allowed, in a leaked audio, he said we and Qatar and Turkey and Saudi Arabia funded ISIS. And he
did. Kerry said that.
ISIS to advance on Damascus. And I think it was Obama when ISIS invaded Iraq in, I think, an interview with Atlantic, he said we allowed ISIS to advance on Damascus to put pressure on the Prime Minister, Nouri al-Maliki. So, and Hillary Clinton once admitted that we created Al-Qaeda. It's clear as day who is behind these groups. It's clear as day that Erdogan is the person first and foremost responsible for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Syrians. I know you know of Serena Shim. She was the Press TV reporter, Lebanese American, who was reporting from the Turkish border, I think in 2012, when Ain al-Arab or Kobani was under assault from ISIS. She reported from the border that World Food Organization trucks were being used to take in weapons and troops into Syria from Turkey. And then Turkish intelligence called her a spy, and she went on Press TV live, said that I'm scared. I've been accused of being of espionage, and I'm afraid. That very same day she was killed. Turkish intelligence murdered her in a car when a truck hit her car. So Netanyahu has succeeded in raising the black flags of ISIS and Al-Qaeda in Damascus.
Absolutely. 100% agree. Go back, rewatch Moats from yesterday. What a great show it was. And yeah, Scott Ritter is so banned on YouTube. You can't watch shit from Scott Ritter on YouTube anymore. I am so thankful that I have followed Scott for many years. I've had good conversations with Scott, and yeah, it's sad that he's banned. That's why we're moving to Rumble. So, like I said, if you can't find us on YouTube in the future, go look for us on Rumble. We're really going to be pushing that. I got one more from Fee here because Fee's on fire this week. It says, Iran president abandons a CNN interview after Amanpour declines to wear a headscarf after demands, yet she put one on for the moderate jihadist, right? So, Propaganda 101, CNN claims Iranian president refused an interview after reporter Christine Amanpour refuses to wear a headscarf, highlighting Iran's oppression. 2 years later, CNN anchor wears one for the rebranded Al-Qaeda terrorist, who now sold the U.S. is now sold to the U.S. as a Boy Scout. It's funny how they pick and choose who they're going to respect on this, right? And 100% Propaganda 101. I don't pretend to understand what's going on in the Middle East, but every day I get a little bit more clarity from the amazing reporters like Fee, like George Galloway, like Scott Ritter, like Caitlin Johnstone, like so many that we listen to, Vanessa Beale. They have really clarified for me what is happening in the world and how the world actually sees the United States. We're the big bully on the block and always have been. Okay, so let's move on to Israel. I like this. This was a good little take.
Hi, this message is for the U.S. government. I'm curious, the man that you all are looking for in New York, let's say he was hiding in like the basement of an apartment building. Would it be justified to bomb that entire apartment building?
Oh, good point.
Or maybe if he was in a hospital, like in an underground tunnel in a hospital, would it be justified to bomb that entire hospital? These are just some things that I've been thinking about.
That's a great point. Wasn't that a great point? We wouldn't do that. Hell no. But that is how they justify it in Palestine. And, the situation in Palestine is getting so fucking dire for these people starving. You cannot tell me this is not a Holocaust when not only are they being killed indiscriminately, but they're starving them. I saw a video that was so horrific I couldn't even bring it to you guys. Skin and bones, these bodies. It's so sad, and it's so bad that even mainstream media can't ignore it anymore. And here's a report from this weekend from CBS where they have to point it out. It's so bad.
Tonight, Israel and the U.S. are pushing back on new accusations of a genocide in Gaza. Amnesty International made the case in a scathing report. The world's largest human rights group claims Israel is weaponizing humanitarian aid by preventing deliveries of supplies. CBS's Deborah Patel reports on one woman's struggle to find food in a war zone.
Each morning, Jamalat Wadi heads out in search of food for her family of 13. This is what her life is like every day now. Angry crowds fighting for a precious lifeline. Bread, it's like gold and almost as expensive at $10 a bag, up from just $1 before the war. We need to eat. We're exhausted, pleaded Wadi. Stop this war and let the aid in. Once again, she returns to her makeshift tent empty-handed. On this night, all they have is a single bowl of lentils to share. The youngest eat first. In the north, Israel has allowed virtually no aid in for 2 months, turning down 82 of the 91 delivery requests made by the UN. And in the south, there's a trickle getting in, but it's nowhere near enough. Hunger has spread everywhere. Here, a sea of kids jostle outside a soup kitchen, all starving. Everyone has to pitch in. 11-year-old Zaina Juha's task was to wake up at dawn and come to this bakery to try and get bread for her family. One day, she did not come home. Young Zaina had been crushed and trampled to death in a crowd like this one. Why did she have to die in such an ugly way, her mother Karima said. She was covered in bruises, red and blue, all over. The world looks at us, at Palestinians, and all they see are terrorists, her father Ahmed said. We're not terrorists. We just want to survive. He will never forgive himself for not being able to protect his daughter. Deborah Patter, CBS News, East Jerusalem.
I just think of this as, from the trailer park, mindset, as you're just minding your business. You're just trying to fucking survive. You're just trying to live. And all of a sudden, now you're fighting for food and you're trying to feed your family. And you don't give a shit about politics and you don't give a shit about the global agenda. You just want to feed your fucking kids. And they're starving and they're dying. And Jenny Lynn, I agree with you on the Scott Ritter thing. It is sad that they didn't step in. Where was Iran? Where was Russia? Why didn't they step in? And I think Scott thought that they would. And obviously there was some back channel information that none of us know about is why they didn't. And just goes to show, that we're sold information and told one thing when there's a whole different agenda that's happening in the world. Okay, I think we've made it through all of the Middle East stuff. Let's talk Trump hanging out with Macron. Trump's out there doing the rounds with all of the global leaders. He's back and they're kissing ass because that's what they do.
This way, please. Please, Mr. President. To your right, please. To your right, please.
Look at how little Zelensky was. That was too funny. I didn't even notice that when I loaded that video. Obviously, that was AI generated, but there was quite a handshake. You know, Trump is known for his handshake, and I think Joe Rogan's talked about it. Like, you have to prepare yourself. Like, he's going to pull you in and he's going to crush your hand. And yeah, we have an actual X-ray of Macron's hand. That's too funny. X-ray of Macron's hand after his handshake. Oh, with Donald Trump. We'll see what Trump does on the global front. Okay, so it looks like TikTok is going bye-bye. You know, we've talked about this for a while now. The mainstream media is pissed that they can't control TikTok and the information that gets out on TikTok. And so many of the videos I bring you guys originate on TikTok. And it looks like by January, they are going to succeed in pushing TikTok out of the country. But my question is, how badly are they going to piss off the Gen Z and the younger generations? Because, yeah, they're not happy about losing their favorite social media platform. Come on.
Yo, looks like the TikTok ban is happening, y'all. It's set to take effect on January 19th, which is less than 2 months from today. And if TikTok is going bye-bye, I think you should at least know the monsters who did it.
We need to talk about TikTok. TikTok, if you will, it is the 24/7 news channel of so many of our young people, and it's like Al Jazeera on steroids.
In November of 2023, a recording was leaked of Jonathan Greenblatt, the head of the ADL, referring to TikTok as a problem that needed to be taken care of.
We have a major generational problem. The issue in the United States of support for Israel is not left and right. It is young and old. And so we really have a TikTok problem, a Gen Z problem, that our community needs to put the same brains that gave us Tagli, the same brains that gave us all these other amazing innovations, need to put our energy toward this, like, fast.
Now, one interesting side note here is that I came across an ADL report expressing frustration that they couldn't access TikTok's analytics the way they can with every other big tech company. Like, should they be able to do that? Anyway, now we're about a month into this war, and all these studies started coming out, making claims about the proliferation of anti-Semitism on TikTok. The most notable one from a statistician and tech executive named Anthony Goldblum, who tweeted out on November 30th that a study he commissioned concluded 30 minutes a day on TikTok makes someone 17% more anti-Semitic. Politicians like Nikki Haley would then go on to regurgitate this claim on national television.
We do need to ban TikTok once and for all. And let me tell you why. For every 30 minutes that someone watches TikTok, every day, they become 17% more anti-Semitic.
Except that survey didn't say that at all, because A, it conflated anti-Israel and anti-Semitic sentiments, which I believe to be different.
Yep.
And B, Goldblum himself admitted that he made some logical leaps when he was drawing his conclusion. But now things are really moving at a rapid pace. The next day, on December 1st, 2023, the New York Post reported that a group of 40 mostly Jewish tech leaders and business executives confronted TikTok CEO Shouzi Chu over their concerns about anti-Semitism and the allegedly disproportionate popularity of pro-Palestine videos on the app. One of those executives, Anthony Goldblum, the same Anthony Goldblum who we were just talking about. And from everything I understand, the meeting didn't go well in the sense that TikTok didn't commit to a kind of wholesale removal of pro-Palestinian or anti-Israel content. So from then on, the fight against TikTok pivoted from a kind of PR battle that we were just looking at to now laying the groundwork to push legislation through that would ultimately ban the app. In March of 2024, a bill was introduced in Congress, H.R. 7521, called the Protecting American...
Oh, yeah, we're going to protect Americans. So, yeah, will this spur a revolution? A bunch of pissed off freaking kids who can't watch others TikTok dance? I don't know. You know, Great Battalion, I see your point. Yeah, it just makes them stupider. But the damage is already done. I mean, we got generational stupid in this country nowadays. Like, just add new math and look back at the last 20 years of what we've actually taught our kids in school, which isn't shit. A bunch of virtue signaling, and it ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna matter. These generations are already fucked, if you ask me. Let's see. Moving on. Let's hear what Glenn Greenwald had to say about this, because it looks like this might actually happen, and who's going to push back against it when, 78% of our Congress is owned by AIPAC, who is the one who actually wants this. So I don't see him stopping it.
In the first level of TikTok's legal challenge, which was in a federal district court, the district court judge decided in favor of the United States, decided that although there are serious free speech implications from banning TikTok, the free speech implications are outweighed by the government's national security concerns. That was the ruling of the lower court. TikTok appealed that decision to the Court of Appeals in Washington, which is generally considered the second most important court right after the Supreme Court. It wasn't the entire court that decided, but simply a 3-judge panel. But this 3-judge panel ruled rather emphatically in favor of the United States and against TikTok, arguing that the United States government does have the right, despite the First Amendment concerns, to ban TikTok. Now, we covered the oral argument at the time and told you that it was extremely likely that these 3 judges would almost certainly rule in favor of this law, that TikTok can be banned consistent with the Constitution. There are 2 other alternatives, or 3 really, that TikTok has to avoid this forced sale, which will never happen by the date that the law indicates or requires, which is late January, I believe January 25th. They can appeal it to the full court of the Court of Appeals, which is 11 or 14 judges. And that's optional whether the full court will hear an appeal from this 3-court panel. They can also appeal it directly to the Supreme Court, which, given the stakes, likely would hear it. And in both instances, they could ask for a stay of the law so that they have time to get the outcome of their appeal before they're forced to try and sell TikTok or face a potentially permanent ban in the United States. And then given that Donald Trump, for reasons we will tell you about, has said he is committed to undoing this ban and to protecting TikTok, he too might have executive powers
that would be something.
Could
Trump executive orders
save TikTok from this ban, or he could use his influence with the Republican Party in Congress and in the Senate to try and reverse this law, though that seems unlikely. So we're nearing a point where a ban on TikTok is starting to seem more plausible.
So there you go from Glenn Greenwald, and we trust Glenn Greenwald and what he has to say. We'll keep an eye on this just like we always do. Let's talk about the Democrats. So why does the pardon date go back to 2014? What's important about 2014? This is a great question. Why did Biden go all the way back to 2014? Is that when he put his son on the board of Burisma? It could very well be. Just speculation on my point. Yeah, on my part. You never know. Exclusive. Biden will leave office as the worst president in modern history, according to voters, and devastating poll. Is it really devastating? I love his hair there. He looks kind of half-cocked. He always looks half-cocked. We always knew this. We knew this before he even got fucking elected, that he would be the worst president that we had seen. And remember, they were telling us Trump was the worst for a long time. So Jean-Pierre having a hard time at work the other day because, she's getting asked hard questions about why Biden actually pardoned his son, which we told you from the get-go would happen, and of course has happened. Oh, come on, play. There we go.
Zeke asked this question, I just didn't hear an answer. The next time that the president says he will or won't do something, why should the American people believe him?
I answered that question. I don't have anything else to add. I answered the question.
Can you explain it in a way that's understandable?
I can't speak to you understanding the question or not, or my answer or not on this. I don't have anything else to say. I'm not going to relitigate this. I did that on Monday for 30 minutes. I went back and forth. I laid out. I said, please read the president's really comprehensive statement on this. And I even said the last paragraph of that statement, he talks directly to the American people. And that's how I answered that question.
Can you acknowledge that it may have been a mistake by the president, you, to say multiple times unequivocally that he would not pardon his son?
The president laid out in that statement what changed, why his mind changed, how he wrestled with this decision. The president laid that out. I don't have anything else to add.
So that statement, he said in part, I believe in the justice system, but as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected this process and it led to a miscarriage of justice. Just to understand that sentence, I think it's important.
Yeah,
is it
sure
that the president believes in the justice system, except in some cases?
He believes in the justice system. He believes the facts are. Obviously, I talked about the gun charges, what legal experts have said. Former prosecutors have all agreed virtually no one would be criminally prosecuted for underlying factors of Hunter's case. I talked about the gun charges. I talked about the taxes, the tax cases. And there are other factors here, what Republicans have said, as they weren't going to let up. I talked about the upcoming sentencing and what Hunter and his family have been through. I talked about the appointees by the incoming president on law enforcement positions. And he wrestled with it. He did. And I also talked about what Jim Clyburn said. So you're asking me about an apology, but Jim Clyburn said himself in a conversation that he had with the president just 2 weeks ago, the president said,
I can't listen to any more of this crap. I know Steve ran this morning over on the AM Wake Up, and I got to agree with Steve. I'm really shocked she lasted this long. She is looking a little worse for wear than when she came in. Let's see, what is this? Oh yeah, none other than Clinton sits down to have a conversation about the polarization of the state of the U.S. politics. You know, we saw Obama telling people yesterday that the Republicans could weaponize the elections. Oh no, not really? Really? No way. You mean, and he pretty much describes everything that the Democrats did. And I love in that last clip where Pierre says, well, you know, this is politically driven. Not like you guys did that shit to Trump and the Republicans and all of the J6ers. And we called it out in real time from the left. So let's hear what Clinton had to say.
Of the Hunter Biden pardon, you look at the first 5, 6, 7 stories on the New York Times site, it's all about that. First 5, 6, 7 on the Washington Post site, all about that. On the same day that a man is picked to be the next FBI director who said he had a list of enemies over 60 long and he was going to throw reporters, journalists, editors in jail.
It is true that it is highly unlikely, I think, that anyone who was where Hunter Biden was would have been facing a substantial jail sentence for something he did.
Dude, people get thrown in jail for so much
when
fucking
he was under
less.
the
Are you
influence of
kidding me?
drugs, and when he has paid back and paid his fines for all the taxes he owed. Whatever you think about that, it pales in comparison with a deliberate use of the criminal justice system to punish your political enemies.
Because that's what the Democrats
This whole
do.
thing has been thrown off for several years now because of the dominance of what I call Roy Cohn politics. Roy Cohn was Senator Joe McCarthy's main advisor. Then he came back and he was Donald Trump's father's main political advisor, and then President Trump. And Roy Cohn said,
look, I have hair.
No matter what happens, always deny everything, always attack, and always accuse other people of doing what you're doing.
Because you don't use those strategies too.
The most important people who believe that are your own
This shit's fucking
supporters.
comical, isn't it?
And then nobody believes anybody about anything.
Especially not you. Did you guys know that, I think I brought it. Did I bring it? Well, since we're talking about TDS, let's talk about Rosie O'Donnell. Now, Rosie, I've been bringing you guys Rosie's clips for the last couple of months. She loves to take to TikTok, looking like the ghoul that she is, to attack Trump because she lives rent-free. Trump lives rent-free in her brain all day, every day. But the internet has been cruel to her because of the things that are on her lips every time she goes live. You know, cold sores, aka herpes. And she decided that she needed to take to the internet to give you guys an update about it. TMI, man.
Well, hey, everybody, it's Friday all day, as my Nana would say. And look what I have on my lip. Everybody's been saying, you have herpes all this time, and I never had a cold sore in my life. And now I have a cold sore. And it makes me think that perhaps this weird pimple that had a tiny little head was a cold sore too. And so I talked to my doctor today, and I did a video telehealth. And they said that it's not a cold sore. It's some reaction to the sun. Now, I did sit in the sun yesterday, but I had sunscreen on. So I don't know. I will let you know tomorrow if I do, in fact, have herpes, as some of the taunting from the MAGA people in the last couple
the MAGA people.
couple of weeks. Hasn't it been fun, ladies and gentlemen, to be standing in direct opposition to everything he is and represents? And always have been. And always will be.
Oh my God, she is the absolute worst. Why did she have to come share that with us? And then if she had a telehealth appointment, how the fuck did they even scrape that shit to tell if what it is? Like the doctor just looked at it over the screen and said, oh no, that's from sitting in the sun. It reminds me of Michael Rappaport, right? Michael C. Rappaport, he constantly comes on and criticizes Trump with that shit on his face too. Just stop, you guys. We don't need to know this shit. That was total TMI. And let's see, what is this? Harry Sessions. Oh no, the one and only. Trump pardoned Michael Flynn, Paul Manafort, Roger Stone, Steve Bannon, his own family, and more. And Trump supporters loved it. I don't want to hear a word from MAGA about Biden pardoning Hunter. And Kyle, none other than Kyle Kulinski, had to step in and say, if you support the unrepentant fraudster, convicted felon charged with 91 crimes, I really don't give a fuck what your thoughts are on the Hunter Biden pardon. God, could he troll any fucking harder for the Democrats? Kyle, get off the drugs, man. We all see it. Hunter Biden, 10 minutes after being pardoned. Yeah, that's about true. I'm sure he thinks he has a free ticket out there now. And what is this? Oh, Anna Kasparian. So Anna has woken up and she has seen the light, and she decided to go hang out with none other than Glenn Beck the other day. Of course, Anna Kasparian from none other than TYT. I wonder what Jing thinks about this interview. Anyways, not that I agree with what she has to say. I don't remember what she has to say, but yeah, just listen to this.
I can definitely be honest about my own flaws and my own mistakes because I bought the mainstream media narrative that there wasn't a migrant crisis.
Really?
And yeah, I did believe it. I believe because, look, I was an idiot because, I mean, who do you trust in today's media landscape?
I know.
Right? There's a lot of liars out there.
Yeah,
and when it comes to mainstream
including
media,
you.
The fact of the matter is they do play defense more and more for the Democratic Party. And that's an issue because there was a time when that didn't happen. And I still believed in their good faith reporting, even though it turns out, a lot of these reports would omit really important details about what's really going on. And so it wasn't until Texas Governor Greg Abbott started busing or sending migrants to blue cities where that woke me up. That woke a lot of people up. And suddenly America realizes, there is a migrant crisis.
Why did that wake you up?
Well, because all of a sudden you're seeing migrants sleeping on the floor in the police department in Chicago because they don't have shelter for these people, right? You're seeing, these I love watching streams of city council meetings because that's how you understand what's really going on in these cities, right? These are real people who live there and they get their opportunity to speak.
Chicago's been an amazing thing to watch.
Wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch
Oh, I can't even take it. She's such an opportunist. She sees an opportunity to make herself relevant again because nobody watches TYT anymore because their opinion sucked so fucking bad for the last 6 years. I actually remember the day. You guys remember the day where TYT totally fucking sucked. And it was the New York primary in 2016. Jimmy Dore's sitting there on the panel, and Jimmy is screaming, yeah, about Bernie Sanders. And Cenk Uygur says, oh, but we have to vote for Hillary Clinton. Do you guys remember that day? I remember that day. Anna, go back to where you belong. Anyways, let's talk about North Carolina and the fact that FEMA has failed these people. This is very sad. I try to keep you guys updated on this situation. I don't even bring you half the videos that I see. This is an incredible story of the survival of 2 women, and now they're fighting for their life because where these people have nowhere to go. They're living in tents. They're fucking freezing. They've been turned down for their $750 fucking dollars, and there is no help. So let's start out with this one. Wrong mouse again.
Unfortunately, they found 2 women that had washed down here, and they had already notified my son that we had passed away. We were listed as deceased. And then, like, Sunday afternoon, my son was like, he was watching the news, and he went, there's Mom getting airlifted on a Chinook helicopter, you know? He saw it on television because they found one lady. She was leaving Craigtown up here where 11 people got killed, and she was trying to get out. Yeah. And when that thing hit her, it snapped her neck, and then she went through the windshield. And coming down through, this is really bad, coming down through the current, it ended up cutting her. And they found her body over here, and they found another lady over here. And they could tell they were women, and they thought it was us. So they were not, pronounced us dead. I'm 74. My sister Cynthia Dunn, she's 75. We had just put in this 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, a handicapped bathroom, handicapped shower, handicapped kitchen, the walls widening, everything. And then on September 28th, that morning, I came out and the water was like this deep. And I ran up there to move the car, and I came back and the water went up. When I went inside the house to tell my sister we need to go, the first log hit and just shattered the laundry room. And then I turned around and it was like a ginormous, like a 20-foot wave. Just, we got torpedoed by giant logs everywhere. And it just, split the house in all kinds of sections. I pushed my sister onto a mattress.
And so she grabbed the dog and we jumped on the mattress, and not knowing what was going to happen. We didn't know if another timber was going to hit us again and again. So that was really scary because most of the house was gone then.
We grabbed the little dog and we went like 4 miles down the river until we were half a mile from the waterfall, and we hit a giant a pile of rubble bigger than that, and the bed snapped in half, throwing me out. Then when I got up, I was trying to find my sister, and she was in this whirlpool of like this thick of like installation. It took me an hour to pull her up. I've like messed both my shoulders up, so I gotta have 2 shoulder replacement. We stayed there for 2 days and nights until they found us the following day.
So we had to stay, in the water 2 nights, and it was very frightful.
It took these men 45 minutes to cut through all this rubble to get to us.
I was exhausted.
It was so scary because when it got night, and then I started thinking about water moccasins, and I started like thinking all kind of like, because it was so. That's the scariest I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And it never stopped. It was crackling and snapping, glass breaking all night. That's all you heard. And then they put us to the church and helicoptered us out to Asheville, and we stayed in a homeless shelter there for like 2 weeks, and then we got moved to the Quality Inn in Black Mountain until these wonderful people here brought us 2 homes.
So right there, where that That's
there,
what's left
that
of.
That was your porch. That was the front porch
Right,
where they're putting that camper now. That was the front porch.
I lost everything. All my family pictures, all my son's baby pictures, all my antiques, everything I had collected in my 74 years on Earth.
You said the home was pretty much torn into pieces.
Oh, it was shattered.
Where is it now?
Oh, it's like 4 miles down the river. It's way down there. It just looks like it was bombed.
Wow, what an incredible story, and what two incredible badass women. I agree. What badasses. And I love to see that there's being trailers backed in for them. So many of the residents don't have trailers yet, and they're not coming from FEMA. They're coming from the generosity of everyday Americans who are donating money and helping out. I think I brought you a couple of different stories about that. Let's see what this is. Actually, I'm not going to play that one. This one is it. If I can get it to play. Come on. There we go.
So this is our mayor of Black Mountain.
FEMA is not Jesus Christ. We can't expect miracles overnight.
But there's people living in tents,
You've got to understand that it takes a while to do this.
67 days and people are still living in tents. We have video of the FEMA compound. They seem to be doing pretty well. I can't I'm just trying to figure out what people should expect, and it doesn't seem 67 days is too long to expect a trailer that the government has money for, is it?
For right now, they don't have the resource. They've got the resources, the money to buy them, but the trailers are not available. People are living in tents. Yes, they are, and I'm sorry, but let's look at the other side of it. Our community has stepped out and helped so many people. There are churches around in here.
That's what's incredible.
So it's funny how this works out. I had a message yesterday from a gentleman named Bill St. Pierre. He called and he said that he wanted to donate brand new campers. He had started a little fund on the internet and it went wild, so he's been doing his part and he was bringing in some housing and doing all kinds of stuff, but he had a message to me that he wanted to donate campers. So today, this old gentleman here, veteran, Air Force and Army, came up to me and he said, "Are you Jason?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Well, my hotel voucher runs out on December 17th, and I'm just looking for a place to stay." So I asked him if he had land to put it on, and he said, he does. So I immediately followed him over there, put my eyes on the land, and then I asked him to take me to his house, which used to be a mobile home park right here in Swannanoa. And he proceeded to tell me a story. And
you're in the hotel right now, right?
I know, yeah. Yeah, that's the other 17th.
And then what?
Then it's up for grabs. And they've not made a decision on whether to do anything further than send me $750. You can't. It's been 2 months.
Yeah.
And they ain't even made a decision, yay or nay or nothing. They're still deciding. And I had to go to the Swano group down here was good. The people on the ground's been good. But somebody down there, wherever they're sending, talking to them. I like to see them sit on the front porch and watch the damn water. No, I wouldn't wish it on anybody, because I ain't never seen nothing like it. I seen pictures of the Colorado, and it was no damn different. And it is that day, and the water is just almost like a tsunami from Purified up there down the road. Because he come out of Norfolk up there and just met Swannanoa River.
I verified it and I said, well,
we're going to get you a camper.
Well, I sure appreciate it.
Well, you're gonna have a camper this week. So your voucher runs out on the 17th?
Yeah.
So I called Robert that I'd had the message from. And it's funny how life works out and how things are just where it's supposed to be. Mr. St. Pierre was actually the guy in this interview talking to Mayor Sobel. So he'll be delivering this gentleman a brand new 20-foot camper this week. So he doesn't have to sleep out in the cold.
We can't expect miracles overnight.
I'm a lucky man.
So there you go, TikTok. And I got to agree with you, Mr. Worthless Eater says, the Helena disaster has most of my attention. I'm telling you all, it was a rain bomb they used to grab the lithium land, and our VP is directly involved. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Absolutely. Of course, her husband bought stock just days before the rain bomb. I agree with you. And also, I find this source I'll save as much as possible about the Helene disaster. The media has completely covered it up. Most of the damning evidence showing how high up the mass murder goes. I agree. We're not getting accurate numbers on this, much like Lahaina, which Brother Pasta did so much reporting on. These are intentional acts that are happening to Americans. The mainstream media brushes over them. The liberals tell us that the state, FEMA, is there. They're taking care of people. They absolutely are not. And these are our people. These are us. It's just not in our area, right? Wait till it comes to your area and it's you who's living in a fucking tent and freezing to death. 3 people passed away this last week from hypothermia inside their fucking tent. These are Americans. And nobody is even batting an eye or even talking about it, right, on the mainstream media. So that is absolutely why I bring these stories to you guys. And we got to fight for each other. That's all we have is one another and mutual aid. We've been saying it for years. It's all we have. So very sad. Apparently, Wikipedia is wiping the internet of all of Jeffrey Epstein's connections. This is Ian Carroll. Not a huge fan. He gets it right a lot of the time, though. So check this out. I should have put this with the Clinton clip.
They're deleting Epstein connections off of Wikipedia right now. I was working on something for a little documentary today and went to go and look at Bill Clinton's Wikipedia page to get the number of times he flew on Epstein's plane.
26.
And it turns out that Epstein is only mentioned one time on Bill Clinton's Wikipedia page. And it's in the footnotes in reference to Jennifer Epstein, Clinton family speeches, netted as much as $26 million. Excuse me? So I went to the Wayback Machine and found out when did they delete all of this. Because they used to mention Epstein 47 different times. Because there used to be a whole section about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, which was, shall we say, extensive? And so it turns out, sometime on July 22nd, someone deleted all of Bill Clinton's connections to Jeffrey Epstein from Wikipedia. And ever since July 22nd of this year, no Wikipedia editor has saw fit to change that. That is despite numerous witnesses extensively documenting Bill Clinton's friendship with Epstein and his indulgence in the services. That is despite Bill Clinton threatening news publications for talking about it. Bill Clinton being photographed numerous times with his buddy. Bill Clinton being photographed
at the White House
with girls. Jeffrey Epstein literally had this painting of Bill Clinton in his apartment. Can't imagine what that means. But it's just weird timing. Why do you think Bill Clinton is having his Epstein section deleted from Wikipedia right now?
Because Hillary Clinton's probably going to run again in 2028 and freaking they're trying to rehabilitate. I don't know. That's just my guess. What do you think? So bad news for the dollar store. All of us who like to shop at the dollar store. Actually, I really don't like the dollar store anymore. It's not $1 anymore. It really fucking sucks. And their products, most of them you can buy at Walmart for cheaper, I've noticed. So, and now they're not the dollar store anymore because they have $3 items and $5 items. The dollar store has done itself no favors by upping its price by a quarter. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Even as inflation normalizes, dollar stores are not well positioned to benefit.
If we have lower interest rates and the consumer is better next year, your consumers will be buying more discretionary type of goods. So maybe the fundamentals could get a little bit better for the dollar stores with consumer spending, but you'll see other retailers outperform because they're more exposed to the discretionary merchandise.
Look at the merchandise breakdown for the 3 major dollar store brands. Dollar General and Family Dollar are both about 80% consumable items. Dollar Tree has far more discretionary products. President-elect Donald Trump ran his campaign pushing for higher tariffs on goods imported from China. That will affect Dollar Tree especially, as the chain imports over 40% of its merchandise, mostly from China. That's much higher than its other brand, Family Dollar, and its competitor, Dollar General. Plus, its fixed-price $1.25 model means margins would be squeezed even tighter. The chain is focused on introducing more multi-priced items to increase spending at its stores.
That core Dollar Tree model has a really nice niche. Everything's $1.25, so you get smaller pack items, you get special deals from suppliers. You start selling branded items at $2, $3, $4. So those are the same items that are at grocery stores or at Walmart. And so maybe a sales lift, but also maybe longer term competition.
The minimum salary threshold to qualify for overtime pay is set to increase on January 1st, 2025.
The dollar stores, store managers, small box, oftentimes in rural, lower cost of living locations, oftentimes make less than $59,000 on a salary basis. So if this rule change goes through, it would cause expense pressure on the dollar store for both banners.
Another consideration for future success is leadership. Dollar General's CEO is on his second stint running the company. Dollar Tree CEO announced he was stepping down at the start of November 2024. A Dollar Tree spokesperson told CNBC Dollar Tree and Family Dollar play a vital role in providing high-quality, low-priced items that help our shoppers do more for less. With new leadership, we are continuing on our journey to transform the business and position ourselves as a leader in the workplace and associate safety through meaningful investments. Dollar General declined CNBC's request for an interview or comment. With succession planning and economic uncertainty a question mark for both companies, it's increasingly clear that getting the dollar store businesses back on track is going to require a multifaceted approach.
Dollar stores are contending with a mix of self-inflicted problems and also problems that they're contending with because the macroeconomic environment is just a lot tougher. You know, people who shop at dollar stores tend to have less income, and so they are going to feel every push and pull of the economy. But at the same time, these retailers have to get their stores back in line, and to draw back shoppers and build more loyalty, they need to mind the store.
They need to mind the store. Okay, so basically, this report went
that they're a box
to say how the dollar store has a lot of fucking problems. Now, my daughter worked at the dollar store for like almost 2 years, I want to say. And for one, the pay was shit. For two, they refuse to service their air conditioning and their heaters. A huge amount of these stores across the country, and there's 36,000 of these stores across the country, didn't have air conditioning or fucking heat. And they just like, nope, we're not going to fix it. Ours was so bad that during the heat wave of the summer, the dollar store would just be closed for a fucking week. I mean, you'd pull in at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and there's a sign that says, sorry, due to heat. It's 75 degrees out, 78 degrees, and you're closed? What the fuck? And not to mention what that does to the merchandise, especially like the chocolates and shit. You know, I used to be a C-store manager for many years. Yeah, you got to have air conditioning, take care of your food. And they are short-staffed, so you'll have one checker and 10 people in line waiting for that one checker to check you out. Nobody wants to go to the dollar store, grab a few things, and then stand in line for the next 35 minutes to get fucking checked out. That is another complaint. So, yeah. And then, everybody freaking out over Trump's tariffs. We'll see it when it happens, right? Until then, shut the hell up. Americans, we like cheap Chinese stuff. What can we say? So, yeah, I haven't even been to the dollar store. It's Christmas time, of course, trying to gather up Christmas stuff. And I haven't even been to the dollar store. My dollar store is on the other side of town. So for me, it's kind of like, do I really want to deal with going to the other side of town? Which I live in a tiny little town. It's like an extra mile, but I still won't go. If I can get it at Walmart and I'm already suffering being at Walmart, why the hell would I go suffer being at the dollar store? Anyways, how the tobacco giants corrupted our food. We know this, but here's a nice little cartoon about it.
Bought Nabisco Foods.
Tobacco pioneer Philip Morris bought General Foods and 3 years later, Kraft Foods, making them the largest food producer in North America, and leaving the business of food in the capable hands of the same corporations who helped addict us to tobacco. Using the same tactics they used to promote tobacco, food companies set about peddling the entire planet a diet of processed goods, loaded with chemicals and additives, masquerading as food. This new machine operates with specific targets in mind, like addicting consumers, without them knowing it.
Ah, yes, exactly what happened in the 90s. We know it. Big tobacco took over food, and now we're all addicted and in terrible health. Elon Musk has been a mainstay of everybody's lives lately, whether it be on X or whether it be, as Trump's sidekick and owner. David Icke has something to say about that. And, oh, by the way, did you know that Starlink, aka Blackjack, put up another, I don't even know, a couple thousand Starlinks this week? Yeah, there's even more space clutter up there that is track tracing you. So, let's hear from David Icke.
David, is Elon Musk a net positive or a net negative for humanity?
Massive negative. Massive negative.
Massive.
Apart from having "I'm conning you" on his forehead, I don't know how more blatant it could be. You see, he's putting up the satellites that are making the cloud possible. So when he says that AI could be the end of humanity, as he said a few years ago, and when he says, but it's inevitable, it's not inevitable at all. Those satellites are going up because they're being given permission by the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC in America. That's why they're going up. They could make a choice not to allow them to go up, and then AI wouldn't be inevitable. AI is the tool of global control, and that's why it's being done. And you might ask this, the satellites that are being put up there, the low orbit satellites by Musk and others, but Musk is the leader, are affecting the entire world. So how come a federal agency of the United States government can give permission to do that? And then why aren't the other countries kicking off about it? But they're not. Why? Because at that level of those countries, they're all on the same team or controlled by the same team anyway. And so, as I said earlier, the idea is to connect the human brain to the cloud. And so it's danger to humanity, AI, Musk, then starts a company, after he said that, called Neuralink, to put brain implants into people. And, it means taking a piece of your skull away and they put this thing in. That is a smokescreen. It's being done by nanotechnology. One of the great things that Musk is used for is selling concepts. So he was actually asked in an interview I saw, are people going to want to have part of their skull taken away? He said, oh, no, you might not have to do that. You wouldn't have to do that because you can put it in there. You can put the brain chip in there through the veins and the arteries.
Which they already have the tech to do. If you've been watching Miss Amber King over at Brave New Future, she's been telling us about nanotech for many years. And they've already got it. Good question. Good point, David Icke. Let's see. This is a Tesla battery. To manufacture it, you will need 12 tons of rock from lithium, 5 tons of cobalt minerals, 3 tons of minerals from nickel, 12 tons of copper ore, move 250 tons of soil to obtain 12 kilograms of lithium, 30 pounds of nickel, 22 grams of magnesium, 15 pounds of cobalt, 100 kilograms of rams, 200 kilograms of aluminum, steel, and plastic. The Caterpillar 994A, used for earth moving, consumes 1,000 liters of diesel in 12 hours, not to mention all of the other equipment. Finally, you get a zero-emission car. This is the biggest money-making scam in history, not to mention the rubber that's in the tires and all of the plastic that's on the inside of the car, right? Elon, you can't sit there. It's my presidency. I bought it. Yeah, that's exactly. He won't go away either, right? We keep seeing him pop up in the family pictures. So did we see this week? Elon Musk took his kid to work on Capitol Hill as a human shield. So let's see, what does this say? Elon never spends time with his kids, but the day after a CEO gets unalived in the streets, he's father of the year, hanging out with his little human shield. World's famous deadbeat dad, Elon Musk, the day after some other CEO parasite is unalived. I have a child. Good point. Good point. And of course, that would be Ash X, right? That's what he named his kid. But hey, wait, there's more. Amber Heard announces that she's expecting her second child after welcoming daughter Una Page 3 years ago. Now, there's a lot of speculation, and we've known for a long time that Una is possibly Elon Musk's child, because there was a lawsuit and it is a dispute between Elon and Amber over in vitro sperm that Elon had given her years ago, and I think she prevailed in that lawsuit. And it says she's expecting, not that she's pregnant or that she's carrying, because she says she can't. So of course this is going to be another child from a surrogate. And, Elon's got, 3 kids with Grimes, and they're fighting. They were literally fighting online the other day about custody, and she wasn't allowed to see Ash X. And anyways, he's got 12, 13 kids that we know about. I think he is personally trying to colonize Mars. Just my guess. But you know what? What pisses me off is if a woman has 12 kids with 12 different daddies, she's slut-shamed. But Elon can do it, and nobody bats an eye. Yeah. Amber Heard trying to make herself relevant again, because this week we also heard Johnny Depp might be in talks to do another Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, remember on during the trial, when he was testifying, he said that come hell or high water, he will never fucking work with Disney again after the way they treated him and fired him. So we'll see if money talks and bullshit walks, and he decides to take it. I don't know. We shall see. This huge yacht is owned by Jeff Bezos, but this is not the yacht he sails on. No. This is his shadow yacht. What the fuck is a shadow yacht? This is his main yacht. This yacht just sails alongside his larger yacht for additional supplies. These are the people telling you that you must stop driving cars because of climate change. Yes, this is his backup yacht that is basically his closet yacht. It just brings supplies. So
that 75-meter yacht right there is Jeff Bezos's shadow yacht.
That's
for
insane.
The yacht he actually sails on. So it's got a helipad and a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, that's just the shadow vessel.
Yes, these are the people that are in control right now. Of course he does. Yes, of course he has a shadow yacht that just, it just hangs out in the background in case he needs an extra case of something. What, has he got like a half a Costco packed on that thing? Probably would be my guess. Remember his mega yacht was so huge that they had to take a historical bridge down in Norway to get it out of the boatyard, which pissed the people of Norway off, if I remember right. What is this? I'm not sure what this is. Let's just play it.
Boys, you want to see a fucking deal? What? Look at this.
Oh, sticks.
Fucking $11, $10.99. A fucking stick. Fucking look at that.
America.
What? $11 a stick. Look at that stick. Where do you fucking find a deal like that? Look at that fucking stick. Fucking $10.99. What?
Yeah, so hurry up. You can hurry up and buy your stick for $10.99. What the actual fuck? People are so stupid. Rich people pay for dumb shit. That was the moral of that one. I just thought that was kind of funny. Anti-vaxxer nurse who injected up to 8,600 elderly patients with salt water instead of the Rona-vax walks free in a court in Germany. Oh, we talked about this story a lot back in the day. Apparently, she got a pass. Always looking for the helpers, huh, Mr. Rogers? And let's see here. What is this? Man loses life in... Hawk 2 Girl. Did you guys see this? Hawk 2 Girl started a freaking coin, a digital currency coin, and then she ripped everybody off for $2 million, and she's out there living her best life. Oh, yeah. Hawk 2. Who would actually invest in this crap? That's what I want to know. Who is stupid enough to give the Hawk 2 Girl money for a digital coin and think it's actually going to grow? These people are insane. So she hasn't posted on X in a couple of days, but she did put up an Instagram of her TikTok dancing and having a good old time because, hey, she just made herself $2 million. Just crazy. And what is this? Resumes including they, them pronouns are more likely to be overlooked, a new report finds. Come on, read it. Read it. No. Boy, could we have guessed that? I think wokeism is going by the wayside. Okay, so we got a few things in Hollywood. Go fuck yourself. Let's check it out. MIA, you guys know the singer MIA, Paper Airplanes. I've actually opened with her music a couple of times. She dropped a TikTok this week kind of calling out Jay-Z. Now, this was before the news broke last night that Jay-Z is wrapped up in one of those lawsuits that is coming via the Diddy case. And I've been telling you guys, Jay-Z was involved the whole damn time, and now it's starting to come out, allegedly. Just my opinion.
I met Jay-Z and I signed to Rock Nation. The first thing he told me to do is get plastic surgery. I'm not insecure because I would have got plastic surgery. People make it, they all can turn around and thank Beyonce because that's it. And enough is enough. I'm fucking coming for everyone now. And even Adele, because she's retired now, but her career would not exist if I hadn't made Jonathan Dickens into a manager. And bitch, when she gets an award, she thanks Beyonce. Oh, I didn't want to drip myself in blood and cover myself and swim in goop, in black goop, and fucking like wear devil horns to fucking sell a record. Fuck that. Or be a witch, or be that, all of that. Fuck all of them.
Ah, she called out everything I've been telling you guys. So one of these, remember there was the attorney who came out and said, I have like 200 cases. I've got all these clients and we're talking to the celebrities and giving them a chance to settle out of court before we file suit. Well, there was a story, and I don't know if I covered it, but it was of a 13-year-old. Well, she was a 13-year-old at the time, who went to the VMAs in New York back in the year 2000. And she tells this story about how Diddy takes her to this party after the VMAs, and him and another celebrity R-worded her. And we were speculating on who that other celebrity was for a long time. And now it has came out that Jay-Z has been accused of being that celebrity. And so last night, the internet was broken with people talking about this story. So breaking, Jay-Z has been accused of R-wording a 13-year-old girl in the 2000s along with Diddy at an MTV VMA after party. According to NBC News, Jay-Z has been accused of it. And the alleged victim claims in a lawsuit that she went to Radio City Music Hall and was approaching limousines hoping to spot a celebrity when a driver told her that she fit what Diddy was looking for. The lawsuit alleges that she was later taken to a party and both men R-worded her. Okay, so Jay-Z immediately responded to this last night with a massive, if because this is a civil lawsuit here. So if this was a crime and you actually had evidence of a crime, this girl deserves justice. And why don't you charge me criminally? Like, he doubled down. Basically, he doubled down hard, which is kind of stupid on his part because he went into a ranting thing about his wife and his kids, and no decent man would do that. Jay-Z, come on. You have been exposed so many damn times by so many people. Jaguar Wright has been calling you out forever. Like, come on. That was stupid, because if anything that he said in that letter opposing this last night, turns out to be false, that he looks like the fucking fool that he is. So we're going to see how this plays out. He came out swinging, and he does not want to be associated with the whole Diddy thing, which the Diddy thing's been kind of interesting to watch, because he is trying his best to get the fuck out of jail, and every judge is telling him no. It doesn't matter how much money you give us. It doesn't matter if you get locked out. It doesn't matter what you do. You are not getting out of jail for this. So that's kind of reassuring to see. And I will keep an eye on this. You guys know I've been telling you. As soon as I saw this, my response was, I told you so. I've been telling you guys so. But, these are just my opinions. Don't sue me, Rock Nation. Anyways. And don't forget that they're all friends with the Democrats. Of course, that is Hillary Clinton hanging out with Jay-Z. And don't forget that Beyonce just took $10 million from Kamala Harris to hang out for 3 minutes during her campaign. So, yeah, it's all of them. It's all of them. It's all of them. We are over this disgusting celebrity pedo cult that has been running amok for freaking 30 years. We're over it. We're over it. And we're here to tear you guys down. Cat Williams called this shit at the beginning of the year, did he not? January 2024, he said it's all coming out, and boy, it is all coming out. It's been good to watch. Yay, we made it to Meme Alley, because I gotta tell you guys, I'm tired. I'm tired. And normally I do a much longer show than this. Okay, let's get started on Meme Alley. If you want to fix America, this is what it's going to take. Voting for puppet politicians in rigged elections will never change anything. Absolutely. We know that. And what does the sheep say? It doesn't mind being watched. I've done nothing. I haven't done anything wrong. Oh, that's a good one. Totally a good one. And when is cheaper to buy a trailer than pay for lumber? Hey, Trailer Park Solutions. There you are. That's the way to get a deck. And when your friends talk about buying their family Christmas gifts and you're putting water in shampoo so it can last longer, I've been there. And Christmas list 2024. A fucking break, wine, lifetime supply of cheese. The will to live, no wrinkles, people to use their common sense, 10 hours of sleep every night, $15 million in the bank, a snack, and peace on earth. Hear, hear. And remember when this was unionized? Wait, hold on. Remember when this was a unionized tree? If one of us didn't work, then none of us worked. Ah, the good old days. Yeah. How many strings of lights have you guys had to throw out this year? I pulled the lights out. I definitely threw 2 sets out. They work when I put them away. They never work when I pull them out. I don't know what that's about. Well, I do. They're made in China, and they want you to rebuy them every year. That's what it's about. And let's see. What is this one? Remember when something goes wrong in the circus, they send in the clowns to distract the audience? Well, sometimes some things have gone very wrong with the circus, and the clowns are everywhere. Oh, that's a good one. The clowns are everywhere. And thanks, bro. How did deliveries go? Fuck. Santa got stoned on cookies and forgot to deliver presents. So if you don't find anything under your tree, blame it on Santa and his reefer cookies. And let's see. The truth does not require your participation in order to exist. Bullshit does. Oh, that's a good one. And Ticketron. I was there when we went to the third floor at Sears behind the furniture department to buy concert tickets. Yes, I remember that. I totally do. You had to go to the service center to buy tickets to anything when we were young. I absolutely remember that. Barber. What do you want? Him? Well, I voted for Harris. Barber, say no more. Come on. That one's funny. Funny. And back in my day, we didn't have Uber. We just picked up people in need and gave them a ride. If you get it, you get it. And let's see. Just a reminder that Earth doesn't have a cow farting problem. It has a greedy, psychopathic oligarch trying to control the food chain supply problem. Absolutely. I don't know why that one was cut off. It was kind of hard to read. Google now hiring. We need to apply. No need to apply. We already have all your information. That's true too. And may your troubles be less and your blessings be more. Oh, I absolutely mean that. And your dog isn't vegan and your child isn't... Oh, where the hell did that one come from? Okay. And the reason It's a Wonderful Life holds up so well is that George's line, you know how long it takes a working man to save $5,000, has somehow not aged even slightly. Oh, I watched It's a Wonderful Life the other day, and I thought that when I heard that line, I was like, holy shit, that's still true. That is very, very true. Okay, we got a few more. Nobody likes Reverse Centaur. Yeah, what is that about? Oh, Reverse Centaur. That's pretty funny. Come on, you guys, that was funny. And let's see. Once you understand that they are not journalists and media professionals, but rather actors, operatives, and things will start to make more sense. Yeah, we know that. And when the war against the machine starts and I have to shoot my air fryer, oh, that's going to be a sad day. And how I sleep knowing all of my conspiracy theories were true and I never sold my soul. And you guys too, right? And all I want for Christmas is for all the homeless cats to have a forever home. Oh, yeah, I do. You guys know I got a new outside cat, and it breaks my heart because it's cold outside, and my inside cats just will not welcome her into the house. They stress her out. She just wants to go to the door and go out, so... I don't know. Apparently, I'll be buying an outdoor heated cat house. What else can I do? Anyways, this is my little town of Bedford Falls. It looks like Bedford Falls, doesn't it? I love my little town. We don't have snow right now. This was taken last year or the year before, but I just think it's so beautiful. Anyways, I think that is the show for today. And remember, it is breast cancer. It is Lung Cancer Awareness Month. And if you want to help me out, my GoFundMe link is down below. I absolutely need things. Paying for my rent and paying for all my meds and paying all my bills, and it's just every little dime has helped me. And I know it looks like the GoFundMe has a lot on there. Of course, GoFundMe takes their big chunk out of it, and I've lived off of it for the last 4 or 5 months. So I can't thank you guys enough. Your help and your support and your love and your messages and your cards and your kind gifts. I don't know where I would be without you. So no matter how shitty I feel, I'm going to pull myself together and I'm going to do a show for you guys. So I will not be here on next Monday because I have my last round of chemo. Thank God, last round for now. And then we'll do more testing. We'll do testing in the new year. More lung scans, more biopsies, all that crap to make sure that it's working. And we'll go from there. So I am headed out to radiation, and I think that is our show. Oz and I will definitely we're definitely doing a show this Saturday because it's pre-chemo. That is not the card. Oz will be putting up a new card, but Oz is busy today. And let me see the chat one more time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and joining me. So many of you in the chat giving me love, giving me support. Good to see all of you. Thank you so much. And I just can't, I'm so appreciative. I can't even imagine where I'd be without you guys. So thank you guys so much for your support. I've got a great closer for us. I knew what I wanted to close with. I just had to find a cover of it. And of course, Oz came in and souped it up a little bit. You know, Oz, he is a amazing audio tech now. I mean, through everything that we've been through all the years, Oz has got audio down, and he does such a great job. So he re-engineered this for us. It is the Stitches, and it is an Alabama Shakes cover of Hold On, because everybody out there, I know it's a tough time of year. A lot of you guys are struggling, you know, family, and just it's a tough time of year. And just hold on. Just hold on. You just got to hold on a little bit. It will get better. It always gets better, right? It's got to get better. Anyways, you guys have a great rest of your day, a great freaking week, and I will see you guys Saturday night. Thanks for joining me. And remember, you're always welcome at the trailer park.